Hey, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And this morning we're going to continue the review of the TV dongle. Now, this is not the exact one I'm using, but this is a similar one. This came to me from BangGood, and this is another unit that I got about 6 months ago from a gentleman that does modifications to these to give it HF band capability. And he had told me that he had gone through a lot of these TV dongles and found this to be one of the best. And I've got the other one that I just got from BangGood. It's hooked up to my computer and it's ready to go. You get this, you get this little antenna, which is the original intent of these is for watching TV, but it's only good for countries outside the United States. Does not work with the digital system in the United States, but there are hundreds of people that have written software to turn this little guy into a wideband receiver. And that's what I'll be showing you today. So we'll be using the one from BangGood, and it's in its stock form, no modifications. And we're going to be using this software that I told you about in a previous video called Skywave. It is now booting up, and I've decided to run it as a standalone program so it doesn't modify my computer. So you have, when it boots up, you have the choice to install Ubuntu, which is a Linux operating system, and this disk has all these SDR tools included in this version of Ubuntu, or however you pronounce it. Or you can say try, which means it will run the software from the CD only. Won't do anything to your hard drive. But, of course, it runs a lot slower. So that's the mode I'm going to run it in this morning, because I'm using my computer I have down in my workshop, and I don't want to disturb that Windows operating system that's set up. Now, going back to the dongle, and I've got the lights turned down a little bit so you can see the screen a little better. I don't know if it's coming out as good as I want it. You can get this from BangGood, and the SKU number, because they've got a bunch of them. But this, apparently to the engineer said this is the best one to get to be compatible with the SDR type software packages. The SKU number is 216756, and it's about $15. So, not going to break the bank on you. Now, also it comes with a remote control, but since you're not going to use and a CD with the software, since you're not going to use it as a TV dongle unless you're outside the United States, then the remote is useless. Okay, so we're going to boot this up. Again, I'm going to use the CD version of this software so that it doesn't disturb my computer. And it does take a little while to boot up, and takes a little while to, it's a little slower because it's doing everything from the CD drive. And this, I'm running it on a much older computer, not as old as me, but older computer. It's a quad-core Dell computer. One that was given to me because the person upgraded, and eventually it will come up. And I should have warned you at the beginning of this video. This video is probably going to be a long video because, like I say, this doesn't run real fast on my old computer. So if you're not into watching long videos, then it's time to go on to another video. So anyway, what else can I talk about while we're waiting? Anyway, the software package that I'm using, and I mentioned it in the previous video I did, it's called Skywave Linux. And like I said, it's a version of Linux with these SDR tools already installed, including the driver. So you just boot it up and away you go. And it gives you, this first screen is a keyboard shortcut screen for Linux. I'm going to close that. So we are now, oh, you're kidding me. Well, it said it had an error, but we're going to go on anyway. I don't know what the error was. Hopefully I didn't. Yeah, crap, it ain't going to work. Jesus. What's a mother to do? I don't know why I'm getting that error. I had this disk up in my office. Maybe I scratched the disk, but we're going to go on. If it seems to work okay, we're going to ignore those error messages. I don't know. I didn't get those before. I don't know what it's about. But naturally, when you go to do a video, something goes wrong. So we're going to hope for the best here. And we're going to see if I can zoom in on the screen a little better. Whoops, wrong way. Okay, I'll admit this is not the ideal way of doing a video. Shooting a picture of your monitor. Normally you want to use screen capture software, but since I'm using this Linux operating system, I don't have that capability. There may be ways to do that in Linux, but I'm not that familiar with the Linux, so you have to bear with me. So anyway, here's the screen. Let me move over to, I don't know why I can't see anything on my monitor here. Let me move over to that side and zoom in for a second. Whoops, wrong way. Oh, there it's gone. Okay, over here, and I have no idea whether it's showing up on the camera or not. But here is the various options. Again, these are built in, and you have, my mouse is kind of far away. Let me move my mouse over here. Whoops, get up here. So here are the things that are built in, and the first one here is QtRadio. That's actually a program that works on the internet, so you can tune radios on the internet. So that particular program is not associated directly with the dongle. Now it might have an option to do that. Bear in mind, I'm not familiar with most of these programs, so you have to bear in mind. The next one is Cubic SDR. That one is one I showed you a picture of the screen in the previous video on this operating system, and now you'd be trying that one out this morning. The next one is Dump 1090. That is a program for monitoring the transponders that are in commercial aircraft. And when they are flying around, they have these transponders that are continuously sending out information about the aircraft. It sends out the position in some cases. They don't always send out the same information. The information varies from airplane to airplane. But things they can send out is position, speed, other information, altitude, other information. So we'll be showing you that today. Again, this video might be a little long. This is FLDigi, which I've demonstrated that program that will decode data from, typically it comes from the HF band. And I've done brief demonstrations of that, and you can look up the program yourself. Very useful program. Again, that will work with these dongles, but like I say, normally the data is in the HF band, which these dongles, as they come directly from the supplier, don't work very good, or basically not at all, on the HF band. but the gentleman that designed this one has added a little circuit and put it inside the same case that will receive the HF band, and it does a very good job. So that program would work with this dongle. And then there's WSJT again, which is, I believe, an internet radio access program. And then there's some other utility programs. So the two we're going to look at this morning, and we're going to start with Cubic SDR. So let's open that up. Got to double click here. There we go. I think I double clicked about 6 times. Okay, let's move the camera back over and down, and we need to zoom back out a little bit. Again, I don't know how well this is showing up on my in my camera. Okay, it's running right now, and it's fairly familiar. It's similar to SD Sharp and a few other ones. Again, I did not have to install any drivers. I just booted this CD up, hooked up the dongle, and it started working. And that's one of the beauties of this particular dongle, is it's very compatible with these programs. So this is the one, and I can zoom it in. I mean, yeah, make it larger. There it is, full screen. And there's your typical screens where it has the spectrum display. This right now is showing the FM band from 98.9 to 100 megahertz. And then here's another screen over here that normally provides you, I think, audio information. Plus, this is where you can change the frequency, the bandwidth, and the center frequency. Right now, it's not showing anything. Let's see if I can. So here I'm getting a signal right here. This is one of the local FM stations. Nice and strong signal. I'm using this little antenna. Like I say, it's not that good of an antenna, but it'll work if you're interested in getting some distant stations. You're going to have an outside antenna, and you have to have the appropriate adapters. Right here, matter of fact, here is, unplug it here. Here's my adapter that I bought when I got this demo unit. I think the engineer that sells these sent me this adapter. This one here, and then there's another adapter. So you need to get some adapters to plug in to the dongle, and then have, like in this case, a PL259 connection. So that's right if you want to use an outside antenna. So I don't know why we don't. How come I don't? I turned the audio down when I used this last time, because this is an FM station and they have commercial music, and I can't broadcast commercial music. So that's why you're not hearing anything. And let me see if I can figure out. And then, of course, this will work in, and I don't know if it's going to show up very well. Is it even on the screen? There we go. This has the capability of decoding FM, AM, single sideband, upper and lower single sideband, double sideband, and like I say, this package is similar to others like SDR Sharp. It has all those functions. It's got different things you can change as far as filtering. Again, as I think I mentioned in my previous video, is this old computer running this system, the software package via the CD drive, it's kind of slow. So this particular software has capability of showing you a bandwidth of 2 megahertz. Well, when I had full bandwidth and I had the audio bandwidth at maximum, which is the default when you first run this program, I was getting audio dropouts. So I decreased both of those and the audio dropouts went away. So that's one program. Like I said, I don't want to show you too much, namely because I don't know too much about this program. And secondly, I don't want to record any FM radio. So let's close this program down. Okay, the next one I want to show you is this dump 1090. And unfortunately, it's Sunday morning and it's only 8 a.m. So there might not be too much commercial airline traffic going over my house. So first I have to enter my Latin long. I just put in something approximately. It's close enough, and you'll see why you have to do this. Okay, now it's something I forgot to do is I forgot to have it connect to my internet, because it needs to do that, and I'll show you why in a second. Yeah, hope I didn't mess up too bad. Nope, I did. I just made it. So you have to have an internet connection to run this program to get this map. And what it does, this dump 1090 decodes those transponder signals that are coming from the aircraft and displays whatever information that particular aircraft is outputting. And if it is outputting position in Latin long, the aircraft position, it will display the aircraft on this map, this Google map. And right now I'm not getting any Latin long information. Oh, there's one that just popped in, and there's the aircraft. I don't know if it shows up on my camera, but there's the aircraft right now, and it will show its position real time. Well, it's delayed a little bit, and yeah, I hope that shows up on my screen. I can zoom in for a second. Whoops, that's the wrong way. And see the little aircraft there? That's this one over here. And that looks like the aircraft designation is AB. Now you can also come down here and click on the aircraft, and it will show you more information. It says it's apparently it's flying over me at high altitudes, because it says it's at 34,000 feet, which maybe it's coming from Miami. And its speed is 444 knots. Yeah, that's probably coming from Miami, just passing by. It's not coming from the local airport in Tampa. So again, I didn't have to do anything to set this up. It just ran. So kudos to both this particular dongle and to this particular package, software package. Again, this is a software package. It's running Linux, and it's got pre-installed all these programs. And right now I'm just that one aircraft I had is far enough away that it dropped out. Also, communications are listening to these transmitters on aircraft. It's line of sight. So if you've got aircraft that are too low on the horizon, you're going to lose them. Or if you got bad weather, we've got bad weather right now. It's overcast, so I was surprised I even got that one aircraft this morning. So that's that program. That's the dump 1080. We'll close that one down. I'm not going into any details about these programs, mainly because I'm not that familiar with them. But I just want to show you what's on this CD. And again, in the previous show, I showed you how to create one of these and use it. Let me see if anything else I could bring up and just kind of in general show you. I can show you this QtRadio. Let's see, is it loading or not? Again, there we go. And I don't know if this will work with your dongle or not. I'm not familiar with this application. Whoa, we don't even have it on the screen. Oh, jeez, get on the boat there. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. Now let's go full screen. There we go, it's full screen, and then we'll zoom back. And then we'll try to get it back in the camera view. Again, this is not the best way to do a video by taking a picture of a monitor. But here it is, the program anyway. I just basically used it, and you come up and you select a receiver. First, I'm going to get a list of the receivers that are out there on the internet. Here's the listing of the ones that are available right this moment. And these receivers will let multiple users come in. And we just see if I can get lucky and get one to work. Let's try this one. It's got 4 clients. We're going to try to connect to it. And apparently it's connected to it. We close this screen. Now, the one thing I did find out about this application is that it requires more computing power than I have, or it doesn't like running in this environment where I'm reading stuff off the CD and it's not installed on the faster hard drive. So I got this working yesterday, but it was very choppy, intermittent, and I guess my old computer here just couldn't keep up. Now, this particular application is also available on Windows, and what I'm planning on doing is install it on one of my faster computers under Windows and see how it works. But I cannot get it to work very well in this setup, and it's basically mainly probably because of 2 problems. One, I'm running off the CD, not the hard drive. 2, this is not the fastest computer in the world. So that's probably why it doesn't seem to work too well. Okay, let's close this one, and I'll take a touch on some of these other ones. I apologize, I'm not that familiar with these programs, but since this seems to be working quite well, and some of these applications look pretty good, I have not tried any of these applications before. I think I'm going to do that. Now here's another one. Again, it's not one I'm familiar with. It's called WSJT-X, and let me go full screen again. And I believe this program, this WSJT-X, is interfacing with the dongle, but the particular dongle that I got from BangGood doesn't work very well, or hardly at all, on HF, which is what this is typically set up for, is HF radio. So I can't really demonstrate it using this dongle. I am going to put this modified dongle in, which does work on HF, and learn how to use this particular application. Okay. Just going to look at this real quick. And it appears what this particular application will do for you is it will decode digital data typically found on the shortwave band, the amateur radio bands, that's in JT format or WSPR format. So looks like a pretty good program, just looking at the screen and everything. Again, the dongle that comes from the factory is not going to receive the HF bands. Okay, so that's that one. Let's close this one down. I think I've touched on everything that's associated with shortwave listening. Yeah, I have. So this is the operating system, I'll call it, that I downloaded, made the CD, and booted from the CD, and it booted into a Linux version which has all these applications installed and configured to work with these type of dongles. Now it works with other types of dongles, but this one, based on what the engineer told me who designed this particular modified one, said this is one of the better dongles. And you can get this from BangGood. It's about $15. So if you have any questions, or you can give me any information about these programs, they look pretty exciting, please, contact me. You can send me an email via TRRS73@gmail.com. So have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.